This afternoon a magnitude 7.6 earthquake occurred off the coast of Hokkaido, Japan. Here on the map you can see the red circle. In the middle of the circle, that's the epicenter. And as you can see, this is just north of where the magnitude 9 earthquake occurred in 2011. Also, much further to the north, Cascadia, there was the magnitude 8.8 earthquake that was in July. And so how do I assess the situation here? Some people say there is the possibility of a megathrust earthquake in the area, just like in July that the magnitude 8.8 earthquake was preceded by a magnitude 7 earthquake 9 or 10 days earlier. Yes, that is, I don't think that that is likely in this region. Given the magnitude 8.8 to the north and also the magnitude 9 to the south in 2011, these are really big earthquakes with a longer recurrence interval. But what is possibly critical is the Kuril Islands, because the Kuril Islands, that's the area just to the north of where this magnitude 7.6 earthquake occurred. That's the area in between these two large earthquakes, the 7.6 today and then the 8.8 in July. The Kuril Islands are right there in the middle, and that fault there has not ruptured, and it is a subduction zone. Also, I would like to point out here, yes, in 2011 we had the magnitude 9 off the coast of northern Japan. That was the Fukushima or Tohoku earthquake. But 2 years later, there was a very deep magnitude 8.3 earthquake under the Sea of Okhotsk. And that directly affects the subduction zone from Kamchatka to in the north to Japan, northern Japan in the south, the Kuril Islands specifically. And also South Japan, that's to the south of Tokyo, there's the subduction zone, and that area is also at risk for a megathrust earthquake, potentially reaching magnitude 8.5 or 8.6. Seismologists in Japan have warned for that possibility recently after a magnitude 7 earthquake occurred in the region. Okay. On this SGI graph we see the magnitude 7.6 earthquake just following the lunar peak, that is the lunar conjunction with Jupiter that I pointed out in the update from 3 December. Like I said, the lunar conjunction with Jupiter is a critical conjunction. And we already see this clustering of stronger earthquakes, as I pointed out in previous two updates, or in the previous update. The 6.8 2 days ago, and then this clustering of stronger earthquakes. This is the temporal clustering that we typically see in various locations across the planet. So this 7.6 comes on top of the already increased seismic activity that we saw in the last 2 days. Yes, the West Pacific is at risk. I think especially the Kuril Islands in the short term. It doesn't mean that's going to happen tomorrow or the next week. This can take several years. But the Kuril Islands, I think, is the area that's between Japan and Kamchatka. There is a higher risk for a megathrust earthquake, potentially over 8 magnitude. And also South Japan, south of Tokyo. That is also an area that could be at risk for a megathrust earthquake. In general, if you look at the North Pacific Basin, if you look at the last 100 years, there have been several major earthquakes in the 7 magnitude range, but also well over 8 magnitude, even magnitude 9. And that applies to Alaska, 1964, Hawaii region, magnitude 8, in 1949, I think, or 1946, 1949, off the top of my head. The Aleutian Islands, the Red Islands, and of course Kamchatka in 1952, and just this year another megathrust earthquake. Now the two areas that stand out actually is the west coast of North America, in particular the Cascadia subduction zone. The last time that the Cascadia subduction zone ruptured, that was in 1700 with a magnitude 9 earthquake estimated. Research tells us that there is a recurrence interval on average of around 240 years between megathrust earthquakes, magnitude 8.5 and larger, along the Cascadia subduction zone. The last time was 1700, we're now at 325 years, and it could be any time, but there have also been gaps of 500 years, so there's no way to know. Furthermore, to the south, California, with all the major and great earthquakes that we had in the North Pacific Basin, California has stayed relatively silent. Yes, we had a magnitude 7 earthquake in 2019, north of the Garlock Fault. But if we look at seismic activity in the past, 1857 last time near Los Angeles, north of Los Angeles, 1906 San Francisco, and we're talking about the high 7 magnitude earthquake, 7.9 thereabouts. And south of Los Angeles, there were magnitude 7 earthquakes, 2 of them in 1812. That's more than 200 years ago. So I guess that the area is under high stress, tectonic stress. And I'm actually surprised that the area south of Los Angeles has not ruptured with a magnitude 7 earthquake in recent times. And yes, this is a seismic gap. So if you consider the fact that 200 years ago Los Angeles was a really small village, small city, if we compare that to what it is today, even a high 6 or borderline 7 magnitude would be devastating for the area. It's not a matter of if, but when. Given the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, I am more concerned right now about Los Angeles. North of Los Angeles, around Los Angeles, to the south in particular, the Santa Barbara Channel, that's what I'm talking about. There was a magnitude 7 earthquake there in 1812. It's been a very long time. So with all the major and great earthquakes in the North Pacific Basin in the last 100 years, the west coast of North America, I'm talking about the Cascadia subduction zone and California, that has stayed relatively quiet. Okay, this is the update so far. In the previous updates, I talked about the lunar conjunctions with Saturn and Neptune upcoming on the 11th and 12th, and there could be an obvious seismic response there around the 14th, give or take 1 day. So this is the update for now. Stay safe. Until next time.